Guys, good morning. Happy Thursday. Actually, it's not morning. It's coming up on noon here in Connecticut on a beautiful sunny day on the East Coast. Let's see. Let's talk about MAGA, making America great again. Bringing back America to its glory days. When was its glory days? The 50s, the early 50s. American graffiti, stuff like that. What else? Let's see. The communism witch hunts of the starting in the early 50s, McCarthyism, panicking that everybody was a Russian or a communist traitor. You know what happened at this time of year? I believe it was 1950 when Jules and Ethel Rosenberg were first caught giving atomic secrets, being traitors, caught giving atomic secrets to the Russians. Soviet Union, Russians, same thing. And then I believe it was on June 21st they were executed. June 21st, 1953, they were executed. Execution for conspiring with the Russians. Conspiring with the Russians. Where have I heard that before? Oh, Michael Flynn, Donald Trump. That's right, conspiring with Russians. The Russian ambassador, the Russians interfering in our elections, which we all know happened. Donald Trump saying it's, I love how he goes around now saying that he was completely exonerated. No, not even close. It could not completely 100%. There wasn't just enough evidence to close the book and convict him on his guilt. That's all. But geez, here's a thought: if we went back to those great glory days of the 50s, what would have happened to somebody like Michael Flynn? What if this was MAGA, the glory days of the early 50s, and we had Michael Flynn and Donald Trump. Donald Trump, a good friend of Vladimir Putin. Putin and Trump, the bro fest, the love fest. And Michael Flynn conspiring, admittedly, in court to a federal judge, admitting that he was conspiring with the Russian ambassadors and lying about it and everything. Geez, what do you think would have happened to him back in those glory days that the Trump supporters all want to get back to? Get back to those glory days. Glory days of McCarthyism and panic over Russian conspiring in our elections. What do you think would have happened to Michael Flynn and Donald Trump if this was the glory days of MAGA, the 50s? Well, Jules and Ethel Rosenberg were executed. Granted, they were allegedly, or no, not allegedly, they were giving away nuclear secrets to Russia. Yeah, Soviet Union, Russia, same thing. Same piece of land, same people. And now we got Michael Flynn and Donald Trump, his boss, just in head over heels in love with Russia. Granted, interfering in an election isn't quite as bad as giving away nuclear secrets, especially in 1950. As we were the only ones at the time with nukes. That's the only time, by the way, like I said in my other videos, that was the only time that a nuclear weapon was actually that nuclear bomb was actually a weapon. Because now that the whole world, back then we were the only one that had it, so it was an actual thing. It was an actual fear. It worked. It was a weapon. Now it's just something that will end the earth, basically. Or if it gets in the wrong hands, dirty bomb, which would probably be aimed at us anyway. So in other words, what I'm trying to say here is the great glory days of the atomic bomb, is, if there were any, were short-lived, and they're long gone now, because the only thing Trump's super duper bomb I still can't freaking believe he said that. The only thing Trump's super duper missiles are going to do now is end the goddamn world. So anyway, yeah, back to that. I just wonder, what do you guys think? What would be if this was the glory days of America, MAGA, the early 50s, Fonzie, hey, American Graffiti, all that stuff, happy days. If this was then, what do you think would be a fair punishment for conspiring with the Soviet Union or Russia? Same thing. What do you think? And it's so ironic. It's so ironic that the people that want to go back to that time, that are in love with that idealize that time, would more than likely be considered traitors. What if there were people that supported the Rosenbergs, just like people support Flynn and Trump? I wonder how would they viewed? You can pretty well bet they were considered traitors. It's rather ironic. It's rather ironic that Trump supporters want to go back to those great days. But if Trump and Flynn were actually back in those days, they more than likely would spend the rest of their lives in a federal prison, if not the death penalty for being a traitor. Conspiring with the Russians, Soviet Union, same thing. Something to think about. All right, you guys have a good Thursday.